Yep, what it do, squad? It's your boy Geek Samurai. I'm coming to you back with another video, man. Now, in this video, I want to talk about The Five Bloods. This is a full spoiler review for The Five Bloods. Now, y'all need to go watch this movie on Netflix, man, because it's a Spike Lee joint, and let me tell you, it does not fail. From start to finish, I'm in love with this movie, man. I'm in love with this movie. This movie stars a whole lot of actors, man. But first, out of the gate, I want to talk about, my boy, Wakanda Forever, Chadwick Boseman. He's the one that stars in this movie, and he's playing Stormin' Norman. Now, for months, we as fans of film or film fans, we've been wondering, why is Chadwick Boseman, why is he skinny? Why is he losing weight? This guy just played Black Panther. He had muscles on him for days. No homo. Why is he losing weight? What's going on, bruh? Now we officially understand why he was losing all that weight all these years, all these months. And the reason for that is because he wanted to play Stormin' Norman from 1971, where it was 5 black African-American men who went over into the war in Vietnam, the Vietnam War. And what they were trying to do was look for a plane that crashed down somewhere in Vietnam, and they were looking for, gold. They were looking for buried gold during the war. They heard rumors about the gold. They found it. All those 5 Bloods found it. Stormin' Norman and the rest of his crew found that gold, and they were going to take it back home. Now, like I said, it follows 5 African-American Vietnam veterans, but one of them didn't make it home. 4 of them did. Now, their names are Paul, played by Delroy Lindo. Delroy Lindo, we're going to talk about him more. Otis by Clark Peters. Melvin by Isaiah Whitlock Jr. And Eddie by Norm Lewis, who returned to the country, to America in the present day to retrieve. They didn't return to America. They returned to Vietnam to retrieve of their fallen squad. They were going back for the gold, and they were also going back for Stormin' Norman. They wanted to make sure they can get him, because since he died with the gold, he never got to return home. Even though he was dead, they never got to properly bury him, so they had to bring him back. It was crazy. But I want to talk about somebody who I love the most in this movie, and it is Delroy Lindo, man. The last time I seen Delroy Lindo in a movie, son, was freaking Gone in 60 Seconds. That's the last movie I've actually seen him do a proper performance, an energetic performance, bruh. Delroy Lindo, he plays Paul. He brought it. This guy should be nominated for an Oscar, man, as best actor. I'm telling you, he's the one that stole this movie, squad. Now, he's suffering from PTSD. He still feels like he's still in the war, fighting side by side with Stormin' Norman. All he could talk about is Stormin' Norman, Stormin' Norman. Stormin' Norman's always coming to me at night, like a ghost, like a Grim Reaper, just coming and talking to me every night. This guy is panicking. Even when he returned back to the Vietnam War with the rest, with Eddie, Melvin, and Otis, this guy was just like, he was afraid to even communicate with the Vietnamese. Anybody who looked Vietnamese, he didn't want to talk to them. Don't touch me. He still feels like he still feel like they were the enemy. He still, like, it was hard for this man to cope. It was hard for him to love. He has a wife and a son. His son's name was, I forgot his son's name. Hold up one second. He has a son that he couldn't even love in this movie because his son, I guess his wife died in childbirth giving birth to his son. Hold on one second. Let me see who his son's name is, bruh. Because his son plays an important factor in this movie too. And I love the fact that he couldn't show his son any kind of love because he suffered from PTSD over there fighting in the war. And not only that, but he also suffered from hating his son because his son was born and his wife was killed giving childbirth. So it was hard for him. It was hard for him to love his son. Now hold on one second. I'm going to look up his son's name because this is important right here. His son plays an important role towards the end of the movie, which I feel like is very, very important. But yeah, Delroy Lindo, man, he killed it. He knocked it out the park, man. He knocked it out the park because of the fact that You know, he's suffering from PTSD. He's seeing things. He's having dreams. He doesn't know what to do with himself. It's crazy. So he's going throughout this whole movie trying to cope with life. I'm broken, man. That's what he tells Otis. That's what he tells Melvin. I'm broken, man. I have not been the same. But they're like, yo, we're all broken, man. You're not the only one, bro. We're all broken. His son's name is David in the movie, played by Jonathan Majors. Now, Jonathan Majors, he's an upcoming actor too. But I like the fact that, you know, his son snuck aboard or found his way over there to Vietnam to try and join his father and the rest of the crew. Whatever it took, because I guess his son got a whiff of the news that they were going back for the gold or going to find gold. So his son's like, yo, whatever it takes, I'm getting my share. You're my dad. I'm going to get some of your share. You've always neglected me my whole life, Dad. I'm going to get my share. Whatever it takes. Now his son is just, I felt like his son was annoying in the movie. Like he didn't need to be there. Because he would always make references to stuff that's been going on in present day America. And he tries to cut these jokes that just didn't land. So I feel like he was like the weak spot in the movie. But at the end, and I'm spoiling the hell out of this, at the end, I love the fact that, you know, pretty much everybody of the Five Bloods, when they went back to get Storm and Norman's body and the gold, pretty much everybody went there and they actually did die in Vietnam. Even though they were living their life every single day, thinking that they were still fighting the war, they actually did die in Vietnam. Except for Otis. Otis made it out. I thought Otis was going to die. But when David shot that white dude, I forgot his name. What's that white dude's name? The white dude that Gene Reno. Des Roach. That's his name. He played Des Roach. When David shot him in the eye, I thought, yo, you saved Otis, bro, and you said you never shot a gun before. How you hit this man dead in his eye? Come on, bro. That was epic. He shot him from the temple, the entrance of the temple. He shot him dead eye, right in the eye, point blank, bam. He saved Otis' life. Cause Otis like, yo, if you kill a blood, more is just gonna come up or something like that. It was good, man. I love this movie, man. Like I said, I want to talk more about Delroy Lindo, man. Delroy Lindo, man, this dude loves Storm and Norman. And we found out at the end of the movie that he's the one that killed Storm and Norman. Because one of the Vietnamese, it was a woman, she had an AK-47, and she snuck into the plane where Delroy's character, Paul, and Chadwick Boseman's character, Storm and Norman, they were shooting the rest of the enemy. They were shooting the rest of them from the plane, looking at the opposite side of the plane. So this Vietnamese female, this Vietnamese woman, she comes out of nowhere, bomb, sneaks into the plane, tries to shoot and kill Paul and freaking Storm and Norman. So eventually Paul kills the Vietnamese woman because it's the war, she's the enemy, but he shot Storm and Norman by accident. And we see this nice little, dialogue between Storm and Norman, and we see Paul, and it's like Paul's having a vision, or he's just hallucinating again. He sees Storm and Norman, and he hugs him. Storm and Norman shows him that you shot me in the gut, man. You shot me in the stomach. And he goes up to Paul, and he hugs Paul and says, I forgive you. It wasn't your fault. Hell of a shot, brother. Hell of a shot. Bloods. We Bloods, man. And they have their own handshake and everything. Like, I love it. All five Bloods, man. They have their own handshake. They have their own meet and greet. You my brother for life, man, no matter what. Like, yo, this movie was great. I felt the connection. And all four of the five Blood members who survived, yo, their chemistry was great. Their chemistry was great. Melvin, Eddie, Otis, Paul, those older men, their chemistry is impeccable, bro. Like, I respect them a whole lot, son. Straight up. Their chemistry is impeccable, man. This movie is very divisive because, yes, it has heart. I think it has great storytelling. The dialogue to me was amazing. But you could see, like, a lot of people are not going to really relate to it or don't like it because the action wasn't good. Spike Lee's not known for shooting action movies. So you could tell while you're watching it and they're shooting and they're fighting in Vietnam in the war, you could see where it's part of the weakest part of the film is the action. But I still was in it. Now, a lot of people probably don't like the fact that they have these 4 remaining survivors of the Vietnam War from 1971, a lot of people don't like the fact that when we're getting these flashbacks and we're going back to these cutscenes that were of them fighting in the war in the past, we see the fact that, why do they look the same when Storm and Norman looks younger, and other 4 blood members, they look older? I feel like Spike Lee did that intentionally, so we as the viewer can understand that, yes, they won the war, they came back from the war, they're still fighting that war every single day of their life. They still have the visions, the flashbacks. They still can quote. They could quote Storm and Norman talking about peace and love, brothers. We gotta have peace and love, no hate in your heart. You gotta love one another. They can have these flashbacks and they can have these visions all the freaking time. It's crazy how Spike Lee did that, and I think that's a significant part of the movie. Now, it might throw a lot of people off from that part of the movie, but I feel like that is very significant in this movie. We needed that. We needed to see that these guys are still living the war, even though they have families of their own. They went back to America, and it's been 50 years, 70 years since that war. They're older now. They're like 68, 70 years old now. They have kids. They have their own families. They're getting older. Some of them have, Otis has hip problems. Eddie was I think a car salesman, which he lied to his brothers about. He ain't no car salesman. He lost everything with the ex-wives and the kids, and probably pay alimony out the wazoo. But anyway, squad, I love this movie, yo. Y'all need to go watch this movie. We ain't out of this quarantine yet, squad. Y'all need to go watch this movie. It was amazing. Now, my favorite part of this movie, I'm about to talk about this real quick. My favorite part of this movie, squad, is where freaking Eddie had the goal and he was backing up. I don't know how he was walking. He looked like he had something shoved up his ass on. He was walking backwards. Hey, it looked like he had a limp or something. And he's like, Storm and Norman wouldn't want us to be greedy. Storm and Norman would want us to take this gold and give it back to our African-American brothers and sisters, our liberators. This gold is not for us. This is only for y'all selfish gain. As soon as he backed up, and I'm going to play the clip for y'all because this is my favorite part of the movie, man. When he backed up, man, my man landed on a landmine, son. I did not see this coming, son. He landed on a landmine and his whole body just dispersed and disintegrated into pieces, bro. Son, I did not see this coming. I thought they were all going to make it back to America safe and sound. Bruh, that got me weak. I was shocked like a mofo, squad. That was the best part. Hold on a second. That was the best part of the movie. I'm about to play this clip for y'all real quick. I want y'all to see what I'm talking about. Hold on a second while I play this clip. My mama told me. That was crazy. As you see, he's backing up, and all of a sudden, BOOM! His body just blows up. And you see Paul, and you see Otis and Melvin. They could not believe what just happened. And when they go to his body, you can see his arms and his legs just all blown up. You see blood just squirting out of his arms. Like, yo, son. That was my favorite part of the movie, man. What? Another blood brother going down just for this gold. This gold is like a curse. It's killing everybody. But I like the positive message that it gave at the end of the movie when they were actually able to get the gold and they were actually able to sell off the gold. Paul's son, David, was able to sell off the gold. His father died. The way he died, the way Delroy Lindo died was crazy too. Those Vietnamese soldiers or whatever, refugees or whatever, they just kept calling him GI, you GI, you GI. You killed my people, you killed my brother. And he told him to dig. There ain't no gold. I guess Delroy Lindo was trying to, spare his life. He didn't want to die, so he just sacrificing himself or buying time. He's just talking to God and he's having his hallucinations again and he's just mouthing on. All of a sudden he throws his hands up and they blast him right into the chest, son. Bullets just blazing out of his chest. What a way to go. Eddie's death was horrible. Eddie's death is horrific. But the way Paul died, bruh, that got me weak, squad. That got me weak. But I like the end because now David got the gold. David got the money. And he sent out the money to Eddie's family. He sent out the money to this white chick named Hetty. It was some French chick that David had. It was like a love interest. He had feelings for her. He was trying to spit game at her. She got some of that money too, and it was going to one of her partners who died. He got killed by Sippo. He got blown up by a landmine too. This crazy white guy trying to run away from the Vietnamese. He got blown up by a landmine too. It was crazy with these landmines, bro. But she used $2 million of that money to fund people from the Vietnamese war who lost limbs, who didn't survive, little kids, because a lot of kids have died over there too, who are Vietnamese children. A lot of people died on both sides, Americans and Vietnamese. This war was crazy. So I like how they were giving the money. They didn't use the gold for their own gain. They gave the money to family. Like we see Eddie, I guess he had a wife and a daughter. That money was given to her. $2 million was given to her because the wife or whatever. The daughter brought the mail to the wife, the money to the wife, and she opened it up. Then we see that I guess David had some money too. $2 million of his share was there. Then we see Hida with the money that she did for her organization, for her non-profit organization. Then we see a group of people. This was also given to Eddie. It looked like a black movement where they were shouting out Black Lives Matter. Eddie's share was given to them too. Black Lives Matter. They were chanting that. And it's crazy that this movie was filmed like 2 years ago, squad. 2 years ago this movie was filmed. But it's just so fitting how they released this movie right now at this time. When we're going through these racial profiling, when we're going through police brutality, it's crazy how this movie was released just now that we're staying at home during the pandemic. We're at home, can't go nowhere. And we get this happening. It was just insane. I love this movie. I give this movie a 10 out of 10. Buzz, go see this movie. Go support this movie. And I think Delroy Lindo should be nominated for an Oscar nomination. Best Actor. Delroy killed it. And since we haven't had a lot of movies, we don't know what's going to happen during the Oscars. I heard now the Oscars are being pushed back from February to probably like March or April of next year. So that I think Delroy is going to win it. There's going to be a lot more movies coming on VOD, streaming services, Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, Apple Plus, HBO Max. We're going to get a lot of movies that's going to be released straight to VOD because it's still not safe to go to the theaters. So squad, go check out this movie. Support this movie. It's a Spike Lee joint. Spike Lee is one of my favorite directors of all time. Go check out this movie, squad. And I'm about to get up out of here. You already know what to do. Like, subscribe, and share the Geek Samurai TV. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.